How long does it take to create new software? Did you know that it took Microsoft 18 years to get Windows right? Microsoft started development of Windows in 1983, but it didn't become a business-class operating system until Windows XP came out in 2001. XP was Microsoft's first true 32-bit operating system that was completely independent of DOS. So the biggest software company in the world took 18 years to finally get the job done. Apple's Macintosh was released in 1984, but was actually just an upgrade of the Lisa computer that started development in 1978, 6 years earlier. Some will argue that the Macintosh didn't become a modern business computer until OS X came out in 2001, 23 years after the Lisa started development. OS X was Apple's first modern, fully multiprocessing operating system. Now clearly, an operating system is a very difficult thing to create, and FIOSys is certainly not an operating system. But these are the top software companies in the world. Lots of programmers and lots of money to throw at this. Lotus Notes, a more modest undertaking but still a mainstay during the 1990s, took 4 years of continuous development before customers began to take notice. But it was still many years of ongoing improvement before sales reached impressive numbers. And the problem is that if good software takes this long to develop, then only the big companies, Microsoft, Apple, Google, can risk the time it takes to develop something new and wonderful. The small software houses and young geniuses trying to get their great ideas to market don't stand much of a chance. Did you know that DOS, remember that old black screen and big C prompt, was bought by Microsoft for $50,000 from a lone developer back in 1981, and then went on to make roughly $200 million from it yearly. And Microsoft wasn't the only benefactor of being the big boy on the block. Did you know that Apple took the whole idea of the Macintosh, Windows, icons, menus, and the mouse from Xerox and others who were never commercially successful? So in the software world, it just takes too long to create anything meaningful and survive long enough until the market decides to accept it. Many industry leaders believe it takes 10 years to make an important piece of software. Just get used to it. Now, hardware is a different story. Hardware advances have been much more impressive. When I first started my computer career decades ago, here's what computers cost. Memory, $100 a megabyte. Hard drive, $1,000 a gigabyte. What this means is my current $800 computer, 8,000 times the memory and 450 times the hard drive size, would have cost over $1.2 million back when I started my career. So advances in hardware have been amazing and have certainly helped spur the computer revolution. But the problem is that software development hasn't kept pace with hardware advances. It still takes too many years to develop the next great piece of software that everybody might one day be completely reliant upon. And as a software developer, if I want to create something brand new that manages file data, like databases, text documents, images, audio, movies, I am stuck using the same outdated techniques I was using 28 years ago, not 1 inch of advancement. It amazes me that no one has improved on technology that is so important. It's actually a challenge explaining this problem to people who are surprised to think that computers aren't that smart already. And I'm not saying there haven't been advances, especially in how we interact with our devices, but it still takes too long to make significant new software. So if we can make software easier to create, better, faster, cheaper, maybe software will advance as phenomenally as hardware has over the last 30 years.